So you've just finished your latest masterpiece. Your heart's racing as you snap a quick photo and post it online. But then, nothing. No likes, no comments, and definitely no sales. Sound familiar? I recently had an artist ask me why her art wasn't selling. One look at her Instagram and I instantly spotted the mistakes. These weren't just her mistakes. They were the same ones I'd made starting out. The same ones I see new artists making every day. I've spent thousands of dollars and countless hours on art courses learning how to fix these issues, but you don't have to. Because today I'm going to share 3 surprising reasons your art might not be selling and the simple tweaks that can turn it all around. Now, these aren't just random tips. They're insider knowledge that can transform your art sales. When I first started, I thought talent was enough. I believed creating beautiful pieces would naturally lead to sales. But there's a whole other side of being a successful artist that nobody really talks about. Every piece you create is one of a kind. It's valuable, and it's a piece of you. And it's absolutely possible to make a living from your art. Sometimes, all it takes is a few small tweaks or a shift in perspective. I remember the frustration of seeing my art sit unsold for months, even years. While artists with similar styles succeeded. It was confusing and I took it personally. But after getting one-on-one coaching and putting my feelings aside, I finally saw where I was going wrong. Now, this isn't about changing who you are as an artist or compromising your vision. It's about opening yourself to new possibilities and changing the narrative you tell yourself about your art and your potential for success. We often get stuck in our own heads, telling ourselves stories like, "No one wants to buy my art," or "I'm not good enough to make a living from this." But those are just stories, not facts. Today, we're going to work on rewriting those stories. So let's talk about 3 mistakes I see new artists make all the time. Mistakes I made myself. And these aren't a reflection of your talent or your worth as an artist. They're just part of the journey. So let's learn from them and figure out what to do about it. Let's talk about the first big mistake, not having great photos of your art. This one is huge, and I'll be honest, I've been guilty of it too. I'd finish a piece, snap a quick photo with my phone, and post it online. Sometimes the painting was still on the floor or propped up against a messy, cluttered background, and then I'd scratch my head wondering why it wasn't selling. Here's the thing, in our digital world, your photos are often the only impression buyers get of your work. It's like showing up to a job interview in your pajamas. No matter how talented you are, you're not putting your best foot forward. So how do we fix this? First, lighting is your best friend. Natural light works wonders. So find a spot near a window where it's bright but not harsh. Next, clean up your background. A plain white wall is perfect because you want your art to be the star of the show. Also, get to know your camera, even if it's just your phone. Make sure you understand focus, exposure, and saturation because they make a huge difference. So show off your art from different angles. Give people a full view, but don't forget to highlight those beautiful details. A little editing goes a long way. So lightly tweak the brightness, contrast, and saturation to make your art pop. Also, always wipe your phone's camera lens before shooting because clean lens means crisp and clear photos. Now here's a bonus tip. Make sure you include photos of yourself with your artwork. People love seeing the artist behind the art. This allows you to make a connection with your audience. So even if you're camera shy, try your best to add a couple of photos of you with your art because your personality is part of what makes your art unique. As an artist, you're inviting people into your world. So make it a world they want to be a part of. So here's something you can do right now. Take your latest piece and photograph it again. Use these tips, including a shot of you with your art, and compare the new photos to your old ones. I bet you'll be amazed at the difference. Great photos can be a game changer. They show you that you value your work, and when you value your work, others will too. When I first started, I thought art should speak for itself. I really did. But I'd post a painting with a caption like acrylic on a 24 by 30 inch canvas and call it a day. And you know what I heard? People don't just buy art, they buy stories, they buy emotions, they buy a connection to you, the artist. Words have power, and your story is your secret weapon. It's what turns a casual browser into a devoted collector. So how do you share it effectively? First, be authentic. Share your journey, the ups and the downs, because people connect with real and raw experiences. Take your audience behind the scenes. Show your process, your workspace, your inspiration. Let them feel part of your creative world. Share the story behind each piece and talk about what sparked the idea. What emotions were you exploring? What do you want people to see or feel? You can keep it casual and just talk about the day you had and what led you to creating art that day. People love posts like those. So engage with your audience by asking questions and inviting them into your art and your thought process. Make sure you're responding to comments and build a community around your art, because this isn't just about selling. It's also about creating connections. So develop a unique voice that represents you. Use it consistently across all your social media platforms. This helps people recognize and remember you. So here's an important point. When you understand why people buy art, and even more specifically, why they buy the kind of art you make, you give yourself a much better chance of finding your audience. This insight allows you to use the correct hashtags, keywords for your art, making your art more discoverable to those who resonate with it. So here's a simple exercise. Pick your favorite piece and write a couple of sentences about what inspired it. Be honest and vulnerable. It can really be about anything. Then post the story with your art on social media, and you'd be surprised at the response you get. Every post is an opportunity to invite people into your world, so make your captions count. Instead of just listing dimensions, tell a story. Use language that paints a picture in the reader's mind. Help them see what you see, feel what you felt while creating. Helping artists share their stories effectively is something I'm really passionate about. And it's one of the things I do in my one-on-one coaching sessions. During those 6 weeks, I help artists get clear on their goals and get unstuck. And by reviewing their websites, YouTube channels, and Instagram pages, I point out areas for improvement so that we can get them optimized and connected with the right audience, which eventually leads to sales. We'll work together to map out your next steps with practical actions that help you build a sustainable and strong foundation for your art business. I'll share more about how to connect with me at the end of this video. Okay, this one is a tough one, and trust me, I struggled with this for a long time. When I first started selling my art, my pricing strategy was, well, let's call it creative. One day I'd price based on how long a piece took me, the next based on how much I liked it. And sometimes I'd just pick a number out of thin air. And don't even get me started on the times I underpriced my work because I was afraid no one would buy it otherwise. But underpricing your art doesn't lead to more sales. It leads to burnout and resentment. Here's the truth. Your pricing isn't just about the money. It's a reflection of your value as an artist. It's about respecting your time, your skill, and your vision. All right, let's talk about working for free. I get it. You think it's giving you exposure. I did too. But free work often leads to more requests for free work, and artists get taken advantage of all the time. So when you're constantly working for free, it tells people your art has no value, and that's not where you want to start if you want to build a business. People will automatically assume this is just a hobby for you, and it's okay if it is, but if your goal is to make this your business, then you need to stop working for free. Instead, try offering a small discount for first-time buyers, or create smaller, more affordable pieces along your main work. And if you're passionate about a cause, consider joining charity events where your art can make a difference. It's a great way to show that your work isn't just beautiful. It can also be a force for good. Plus, It's a great opportunity to get your name out there while supporting something you care about. So in these events, your contribution will be recognized and valued. So here's what helped me when it came to pricing. First, figure out where you are in your art career. Are you just starting out, or do you have a few years under your belt? This gives you a good start when pricing your art. If you're a new artist, then try using a simple formula to start. You could price by size or by time spent. You can also look at other artists at your level and who also have similar style as you to see what they are charging. And then you can use that as a starting point. And don't forget to add up all of your costs. That means your materials, your supplies, your time, packaging materials, shipping, website fees, everything, and pay yourself a fair wage. Come up with a pricing method and stick to it, whether it's based on size, time, or both, because being consistent builds trust with your buyers. Remember, you're not just selling canvas and paint. You're selling your unique vision and your talent. So as you grow as an artist, don't be afraid to raise your prices, because your pricing should reflect your development as an artist. Also, don't be afraid to communicate your value. Help potential buyers understand what goes into each piece from concept to completion. So here's a simple exercise. List all of your costs for creating a piece. That means materials, your time, and overhead, and then add your desired profit. This is going to be your new minimum price. Stick to it for the next 3 pieces and observe how it changes your interactions with potential buyers. Remember, pricing too low might suggest low quality. Also, make sure you're making a profit and adjust your pricing as you grow. It might take some trial and error to find what works for you and your market. But when you price your work fairly and consistently, you're showing respect for yourself as an artist and for the collectors who invest in your work. I've made these mistakes, and it cost me a lot of money, especially when I didn't understand the business side of being a full-time artist. It's easy to get discouraged when you're not seeing the sales you want. There were times when I wondered if I was cut out for this, if maybe I should just keep my art as a hobby. But every time I improved my photos, shared more of my story, or stood firm on my pricing, I saw results. At the end of the day, selling your art isn't just about techniques or strategies. It's about believing in yourself and your work. It's also about being open to new ideas and willing to step out of your comfort zone. Your art is unique, it's valuable, and there are people out there who will love it, who need it in their lives. Sometimes all it takes is a small shift in how you think about and present your work to connect with your people. So I want you to try something. Next time you finish a piece, instead of immediately thinking about whether it will sell, take a moment to appreciate what you've created. Remind yourself of its value, of your value as an artist. Then, with that mindset, think about how you can best share it with the world, because you can make a living from your art. It might take some adjustments, some mindset shifts, maybe even some trial and error, but it's possible. So if you're serious about taking your art career to the next level, I'm currently offering a limited number of one-on-one coaching sessions. We'll work together to get clear on your goals, help you get unstuck, and create a plan that's going to put you on the right path, especially if you're multi-passionate and don't know what to focus on. Trust me, I know what that's like, and I know how to get through it. Plus, I'll be there the whole way to hold you accountable, so be sure not to miss out on your spot. Go ahead and click the link in the description below to learn more. Let us know in the comments what's been your biggest challenge in selling your art, and what else would you add to this list? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Don't forget to check out the description below for additional resources to help guide you on your journey. Remember, every master was once a beginner. So keep creating, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself and your art. I'll see you next time.